All right, let's talk about the future of AI. But forget self-driving cars and chatbots for a minute. We're going to dive into how AI is colliding with one of our oldest, most trusted professions, medicine. And that collision is forcing us to ask a really, really uncomfortable question.
Wow. That is a heck of a statement, isn't it? And get this, it's not some hot take from last week. That was Arthur C. Clarke, way back in 1980. It perfectly sets the stage for the debate we're all having today. Can a doctor's job actually be automated? And more importantly, should it? That's the big question we're going to unpack.
You know, this whole idea of a thinking machine, it's not new at all. It really started with Alan Turing back in 1950, just planting the seed. But what was just theory back then has shot forward at a stunning speed. Fast forward to 2016, and Google's AlphaGo didn't just play a game. It learned beyond its own programming and beat the world's best player. And today, that same kind of power is already being used in medicine, right now.
And this gets us to maybe the most critical truth about AI. It's not magic, it's a student. And just like with any student, the teacher is everything. AlphaGo had great teachers and became a world champion. Microsoft's chatbot, Tay, well, it was taught by the chaos of the open internet, and it became a toxic nightmare almost overnight. The lesson here is crystal clear. How you teach an AI determines everything.
Okay, so if an AI can learn and its success hinges on its teacher, the next question is obvious, right? What happens when we start teaching it to be a doctor? Because here's the kicker. It's not a question of if the AI doctor will arrive. In many ways, it's already here.
And nope, this isn't science fiction. This is happening today. We have studies showing that for very specific data-heavy jobs, like scanning images for skin cancer or eye diseases, AI is already more accurate than human specialists. It's a narrow skill for now, sure, but wow, what a proof of concept.
Now, when I say AI doctor, you're probably picturing a robot in a white coat, right? We got to throw that image out, think bigger. An AI doctor would be more like a global brain, a massive network of thousands of computers, all connected, all learning from every new case and every new study and sharing that knowledge instantly. The scale is just mind-boggling. So we tend to think an AI has to be perfect, right? Better than the best doctor on the planet. But the author Ken Masters points out something kind of startling. The bar is much, much lower than we think. To be competent in AI doesn't have to be the best in the world. It just has to be better than the worst doctor who graduated from medical school.
Just think about that for a second. If an AI is better than the average doctor, that means it's already providing superior care to half of all patients out there. And as we just saw, in some specific areas, AI is already flying past even the top human experts.
Okay. I can practically hear you screaming at your screen. Sure, data is great, but what about the human part? What about empathy and compassion, the human touch? And you're right. This is the #1 argument against an AI doctor. So let's tackle it head on. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can a machine, just a piece of software, genuinely show the kind of care we need when we're at our most vulnerable? It seems impossible. But before we jump to conclusions, let's take an honest look at the human touch we have in our current system.
The source material we're drawing from makes some really uncomfortable but important points. Research actually shows that empathy levels in medical students go down during their training. We've got doctors stuck in flawed systems, forced to rush through 10-minute appointments. We have insurance doctors making life or death calls for patients they've never even met. Is that system always delivering the amazing human touch we imagine it does? And this leads to what is probably the most provocative idea in this entire explainer. Maybe, just maybe, a well-programmed AI, one that can listen patiently, remember every single detail about you, and offer consistent, calm reassurance. Maybe that artificial human touch is actually better than the rushed or non-existent human touch many people get right now.
So if AI starts handling more of the diagnostics and maybe even some patient interaction, does the doctor just become obsolete? Are they out of a job? The answer is a clear no. This isn't about replacement, it's about a total transformation. The doctor's job description is about to get a massive rewrite.
To get this, you have to understand a concept called disruptive technology. It's not a technology that just makes the old way a little better. It's something that completely changes the game. A great example is electronic medical records. A lot of doctors find them super frustrating, but the paper argues that frustration isn't a design flaw, it's a feature. It's forcing the doctor's role to change from just being a caregiver to also being a data expert for a much larger system.
So what does this new job look like? Well, doctors become the designers, the teachers, and the ethicists for these AI systems. They become the crucial bridge, the ones who translate a human hunch, that gut feeling, the way a lump feels, into data the AI can understand. They'll be operating incredibly precise surgical robots and guiding patients who are using AI in their own homes. Their expertise doesn't go away, it gets elevated.
So where does all of this leave us? We've seen that AI is already here, that it has the power to outperform us in key areas, and that it's going to fundamentally disrupt, not replace, the job of being a doctor.
This brings us all the way back to that quote from the beginning. It turns out the reality isn't as simple as Clerk's prediction. It's not some passive thing where machines just show up and take jobs from people.
The future, as our source material suggests, is actually about choice. The doctors who refuse to adapt, the ones who don't want to become teachers, collaborators, and guides for these new tools, they are the ones who will effectively choose to be replaced. But for everyone else, the chance to improve medicine is going to be absolutely massive.
Maybe it's best to end with a thought from Alan Turing himself. This future of AI in medicine, it isn't some settled thing. We're really just at the start of the road. As he said, we can only see a short distance ahead, but we can see plenty there that needs to be done. The work to build this future responsibly, well, that work starts now.